How many real estate investors fail? We might not know the exact number, but we know it's a lot, especially if we analyze the different stages that real estate investors find themselves in. Maybe you're in the first stage, it's just a dream. You haven't even taken the first step. Maybe you started educating yourself, but you hit a mind block. Maybe you're more in the stage of you bought your first house and it fell apart. Or maybe you became this big old investor, you bought all these properties, you thought you were high and mighty, and you came tumbling down, and now you lost it all. Failure sucks, and failure is difficult. It sucks no matter where you are in life, and it is difficult to overcome. In fact, what they have found is there's something called loss aversion. It's the relationship of what creates motivation more. And what they have found is the motivation that comes from the fear of loss is about 2.5 times stronger than that of gain. For example, so let's say you're hoping to lose weight. So you go join a weight loss competition. You all are gonna pull in some money and the winner's gonna take the pot. So what is going to motivate you more? Winning the pot or losing your money that you had originally that you had to put into the pot? You are more motivated by the loss or the fear of loss than you are over the possible gain. This also applies in the stock market. You want to make sure that you buy stocks that are stable than putting your money into very volatile stocks that could possibly make you a lot of money. In relationships, let's assume you have a best friend. You love them, you care about them, you've been best friends for a long time, but over time, you have started to desire something more. You want to become boyfriend or girlfriend. Well, what might you lose? A friendship. What do you stand to gain? A boyfriend or girlfriend relationship. For some people, that loss is too great. They are not willing to take that step and that leap to try to become boyfriend, girlfriend. So clearly it happens in everything in life. We need to understand loss aversion to understand what motivates us and know that when we fail and we have this loss or the fear of loss, that it can control us, and how do we motivate ourselves to overcome it. Now, before we go on to the next part of the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It makes me feel good. It lets YouTube know that I'm important and that you like it. Now for the rest of this video, I'm going to go over 1, the reasons investors fail, 2, strategies to avoid failure, 3, learning from the mistakes, and 4, the benefits of successfully investing in real estate. The reasons investors fail are typically not having enough capital. It takes money to make money. Doesn't have to be yours, but you do need to have money. 2, poor marketing conditions. The market can go up and down, not knowing what's going on. 3, inadequate research, not knowing what to do. And 4, inexperience. Almost all failures are going to land in one of those 4 areas. So what strategies can we employ to avoid these mistakes? Well, 1, with lack of capital, you can actually have a budget and stick to it. I don't know how many times I've talked to house flippers where they didn't have a budget and didn't stick to it. Just having one and sticking to it will solve the majority of that problem. Another strategy that will help you avoid these mistakes is going to be market research. Now, you can't control the market, you can't make it go up and you can go down, but you can control when you buy, when you sell, and what strategies you're going to be using. You can make sure that you never sell for less. If you put yourself in the right position, you can always rent it out for longer until the market goes up, because over the long run, the market always goes up. Now, when it comes to inadequate research or the inexperience, you can solve these most of the time by just hiring a coach or collaborating with someone that has experience.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen.
That way, every decision you make, you can run it by them and completely avoid any of that issue. Now, of course, you'll have to pay money for a coach, or you have to give up some of the revenue or profit if you were to collab with somebody. But I can tell you, if you're inexperienced, it's worth it. You will find that if you go look at someone that you admire in the area where you want to be, that when they do something new, they collab with somebody else or hire a coach to make sure it's done right. And now the last strategy that I'd recommend is to stop over and under diversifying. If you're new, you almost always over diversify because you're so worried of the fear of losing that you want to diversify so you can make sure that you gain. But what happens is you limit yourself and you never become good at that one thing and never good enough to make good money to where you can retire early or have any of the benefits of successful real estate investing. So don't over diversify early on. As you go through the phases and things shift and as you grow, you need to diversify. You need to add stability, and you also might have reached the maximum amounts of profits you were gonna make in your area.
Well, I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
So you might need to diversify to bring in more income that way as well. So depending on where you're at, you either need to diversify or not, but please stop over and under diversifying. Now the third part, learning from your mistakes. When you fail, your mistake is right in front of you. If you can't learn from it, you're not going anywhere. And the largest chunk here is all mindset. It's remembering in life that going through these mistakes is how we learn and grow and become closer to version 2.0 of ourselves. Now, once your mindset is right, you can finally know and understand what the failure was and make changes to fix it. You will make changes in all three of these following areas: individual, system, and other people. Here's an example. You're in real estate and you're calling leads to find deals. You're the one actually making the calls. There's a problem, there's a mistake. You gotta look at yourself. What can you change about yourself to become better? Are you making enough calls? Do you need to work on your wording? Do you need to call more people? You might need to make a change in yourself in that specific skill to do a better job. If you're not the one making the calls, well, maybe you're the manager, or maybe you need to be a better leader. What changes can you make, or do you need to make, in order to help solve this problem from ever happening again? The next part would be the system. Do you have a system? If you don't, put one in place. If you do have a system, you need to tweak it. In our example, maybe you have a system that you call through, that you put notes in, but maybe it doesn't record your calls so you can't listen to them to get better at the words that you're saying. Maybe it doesn't remind you to call somebody when you need it to. Put a system in place or make the tweaks to your system to help you prevent mistake from happening again. And the third part is other people. Maybe you're the one making the call, but you need to hire a coach to help you. You're the one making the call, but you shouldn't be, and you need to hire someone else to make the calls for you. Maybe you should be hiring a company to make the calls for you. Use other people and leverage that to help this mistake to never happen again. We all want to be investing, making more money, and growing and becoming a better version of ourselves, so we can actually become successful real estate investors. Because of course we want financial freedom, of course we want financial stability, but most importantly, being successful in real estate means having personal gratification that you have helped yourself and others reach or get closer to their version 2.0. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video. Let's keep learning.